Really, the reason why I came to Harvard Law School was specifically because of the Human Rights Clinic. I was considering a couple different schools, but I came here knowing full well that I was interested in pursuing human rights work. And when I compared the different programs for human rights that they had at different schools, Harvard's program really stood out to me. And it was the Human Rights Clinic particularly that caught my attention, both because of the breadth of topics that they cover, and also because of the depth. You have professors and practitioners who are really specialists in the field, and they're some of the top practitioners and scholars in the area that they focus in. And it was actually pretty surprising when I first started in the clinic the fall of my second year. I was assigned to the project, and 1 week later I was on an airplane to Santiago. And so it was pretty exciting, and there was, sort of a lot of, it was something that I really got excited about, being able to jump in head first right from the beginning. The clinical faculty certainly put a lot of faith in us, and they're very willing to invest a lot of responsibility in us from the very beginning. And so, for example, when I was on a trip to Chile working with working on issues around indigenous rights, we were traveling down to the south, speaking with indigenous people. On the second day that I was there, I was performing interviews with indigenous clients that we were working with, and under the supervision of a clinical faculty member, but I was the one who was leading those interviews. And for me, that was a fantastic way to build interviewing skills and documentation skills. On that same trip, 2 days later, our clinical team also had an interview with the president of the Supreme Court in Chile. And so within just a few days, you have the ability to perform really substantive work, both with a local indigenous community, but also with the sort of top brass of the Chilean judicial system. And those are sorts of experiences that you can really only get at a place like Harvard. And because of the quality of the work that we do, we get access to certain places that you really wouldn't get otherwise. The Human Rights Clinic really provides me, or it is providing me, with the opportunity to gain these skills now while I'm here. So I now have extensive experience documenting human rights abuses, writing reports, and performing advocacy, so that when I leave Harvard, I'll already have most of the skills that I'll need, and I'll be able to jump right into an NGO. I think one thing that I would like to add about the Human Rights Clinic is that it provides a fantastic seat for the human rights community here at Harvard. The clinic is one of the largest clinics here, and it really is a center of activity for people who are interested in or have been involved with human rights in one form or another. So we have a space where we have a small lounge, and all the time you'll go up there and you'll see clinical students either working on a project or eating lunch together, talking about some issue that they're struggling with, or making plans to go out and see a movie on the weekend. So the clinic is a great place for us to come together and work together, but it's also, I think, a really fantastic facilitator of the social relations that you have with other people here. And it's a really great way to develop the human rights community within the law school.